as you can, Dominic.
As they both come out side by side.
Oh no.
And that is the end.
That's it?
That Eastman around the back, flashing his lights, letting those ahead of him know that he is ready to rumble. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 red lights here at Silverstone. And the drivers are away. Tulia Pavone gets an excellent start. Jaden Harrison bogging down a little bit. Stephen Pommel's on the outside, moves up. It's too wide heading into the first corner. Rahul Nasir keeping himself tidy, keeping himself neat and tidy, trying to gain a position there on the opening lap. Tulia Pavone is out in the lead, but Stephen Pommels moves up into second position. Jaden Harrison falling back a little bit. Rahul Nasir trying to capitalize on Jaden running wide. No, not Jaden. Stephen Pommels makes contact and unfortunately has a spin. Jaden Harrison moves back up into second position. Rahul Nasir get that last spot on the podium. Tulia Pavone now 1 second in the lead, and here's Rahul Nasir making a move on Jaden Harrison. Can the Canadian make it? Going around the outside, heading into Brooklands. He will get the switchback on Jaden. Jaden covers him off. And we see Luis Manolo in the red car now trying to get close to the action here. He may be able to capitalize on the 2 ahead of him fighting. Stephen Pommels hangs on. Sorry, Jaden Harrison hangs on to that P2 spot. And Rahul Nasir lives to fight another day. Here, Stephen Pommels trying to make a move around the outside on Kimani Eastman, and he does so. Gets around the outside there, which switches back to the inside. Kimani Eastman will have the slipstream coming down the hangar straight. He may be able to make a move on the inside to retake that position. Farias ahead of them, chasing down Freddie Hung. It's all going a bit differently than we thought it would be, as we see side-by-side action here between Stephen Pommels, Freddie Hung, and Farias. I almost have to hold my breath as they head side-by-side through cops. A bit of contact there between Stephen Pommels and Ronnie Farias. Stephen Pommels picking up some front splitter damage, going to make him very slow through the likes of Maggots, Beckett, and Chapel Corner. Manolo only 2 tenths behind the race leader Rahul Nasir. That's now 1 tenth side by side. Manolo taking the outside but thinking better of it, biding his time as they head through Maggots and Beckett. He probably thinks it's much better, much safer move to try and make a move on the hangar straight, but Manolo says no, he'll take the inside, which switches to the outside from Maggots, and both drivers are off. Manolo getting a bit too greedy there, heading into the first corner of the switchback section here at Silverstone. It's disaster for Manolo, who drops now down into P5. Jaden Harrison snatches up that P1 from Rahul Nasir, who's only a second behind, sitting in P2. Tulia Pavone back up into P3. Rahul Nasir with Tulia Pavone hot on his heels, getting a run going through Village. And he's trying to make it work on the inside. Rahul Nasir leaving the space this time as they head down the Wellington Straight. Tulia Pavone moves up into P2, now only 7 tenths behind Jaden Harrison. Rahul Nasir going back down the inside, going around Brooklands. Tulia Pavone will stick around on the inside. Can Rahul take the switchback as they come out on the exit of Luffield and head down this old pit straight, heading into the right-hander of Cops? He is not close enough, just a bit too tentative there, coming on the exit of that corner. Twisty section here that Silverstone is so well known for. Heading now onto the Wellington Straight, the gap falling, now only a tenth and a half between the 2 leaders, P1 and P2. Jaden Harrison going defensive, holding the inside line. Which way will Tulia Pavone go, left or right? He switches to the outside, heading into Stowe. Jaden Harrison cuts him off a bit before the braking zone. It's legal, ladies and gentlemen. He will not give up that position so quickly. Jaden Harrison now coming through the club section. Will Tulia Pavone go for the dive? He thinks better of it. Rahul Nasir may have had a bit of a moment now. A second and a half between them. Jaden Harrison losing the rear end, coming through the final corner. He squeezes Tulia Pavone off onto the AstroTurf. It's all happening here at Silverstone. These two drivers, Tulia Pavone has showed up. I wish he was here from the very start. We would have been seeing sparks flying between the likes of Tulio and Jaden. That's Davil Park there, battling with Rahul Nasir for P3. It's not just the two at the top there. Rahul Nasir trying to hold on, struggling now to keep that P3 after making contact with Manolo heading into Brooklands. There's Jaden going absolutely defensive, coming down the straight, heading into Brooklands. A bit of desync there. Hopefully no contact is made between them. Tulia Pavone trying to find a way. Jaden Harrison says absolutely not. Tulia Pavone getting the better exit coming out of Luffield. It's side by side as they head down the old pit straight, heading into the fast right-hander of Cops. Tulia Pavone is on the inside. Shadows of Hamilton and Verstappen 2021. Jaden Harrison gives up the inside and Tulia Pavone runs a bit wide. Will Jaden Harrison come back at him? He will have carried a bit more speed. Side by side heading into Brooklands. Who will come out on top? They're side by side still, Tulia Pavone and Jaden Harrison, but Jaden Harrison just snatches that position and they live to continue this fight going down onto the hangar straight. Tulia will be sat in the slipstream heading down the straight into Stowe. Will he go for a move again? Jaden Harrison defending for all he's worth. Staying on the inside, he comes across. I believe that may have spooked Tulia a bit. Hopefully Jaden does get too dirty now, but Tulia does get the run. He switches back to the inside. Jaden covers the inside. Tulia unable to make it move. Jaden here defending against Tulio, just as how Max Verstappen did here in, I believe, 2019 it was, or 2020 against Sebastian Vettel. World-class driving here from all drivers up and down the order as Rahul Nasir sets his personal fastest time as he crosses the line. No longer under threat from Davil Park behind. He may have that P3 all sewn up as Stephen Pommels is fighting with Louis De Jong as we see Jaden Harrison and Tulia Pavone side by side again coming through the loop and entry, heading down the Wellington straight side by side. They can't seem to leave each other alone. This is only allowing Rahul Nasir to close back in on the two drivers at the front. Jaden Harrison holds on to that P1. Tulia Pavone around the outside, switches to the inside. Tulia Pavone will retake that lead. We've seen the lead exchange hands between these two so many times. Just this race alone, the two drivers similar in pace, similar lines taken as well, as both of them running a little bit wide there. Maybe a tire cooling technique there from the two titans at the top. Rahul Nasir now just 2 seconds off the leader. Jaden Harrison, they're running a bit wide. Hopefully this is not him running out of tires. And the drivers behind him as Lewis makes a move on Davil Park. Coming out of entry, it's Davil Park and Louis De Jong side by side heading into Brooklands. Lewis, they're taking the alternative line, looking for the switchback, dives down the inside in Luffield, but unable to make it work, thinking a bit better of it. Davil Park closes the door and gets the better exit, and there's Stephen Pommels pumping in those lap times, trying to catch up to the back of Lewis and Davil to take a position from them. Davil getting a horrible exit. Lewis moving up alongside him, side by side through Cops. Davil manages to keep that P4. He manages to keep the best of the rest position as a higher minimum speed as he dives to the inside, trying to make a move on Lewis. Lewis there sat on the outside. Will Stevens switch back to the inside? I've seen him do it before. He does! He makes the move on Lewis. Lewis tries to make the switch back, and it's a bit of contact there between the two drivers. Lewis there getting a bit of front splitter damage from that contact with Stephen Pommels. Stephen Pommels there not able to put the power down or get through the corner as cleanly as he would like. And has absolutely shocked Jamaica and shocked Venezuela. He has shocked everyone with his blistering speed. Tulio Pavone crosses the line after 5 hard-fought laps. After fighting tooth and nail with Jaden Harrison for the majority of this race, Tulio Pavone, the Venezuelan, wins the grand finale of the British Radical Championship.